KREM 2 News begins now.
Thank you for joining us on KREM 2 Plus. I'm Tim Pham. This is your KREM 2 News Week in Review. Join us as we take a closer look at some of the biggest stories in the Inland Northwest this past week.
While there are several wildfires burning in eastern Washington, the Gray Fire to date is the most devastating. So far, one person has died, more than 190 homes destroyed. That number is only expected to rise. Mary Cox and her daughter Lisa are cool as can be in a Red Cross shelter in Chattaroy as a raging wildfire threatens their home. They were told to get out.
I never deal with the what if. I just deal with what is, because if our home's there, fine. If it's not, well, we'll just take it as it comes. To date,
25,000 acres have burned in Spokane County alone, 10,000 of those on the Gray Fire. That fire, sparked Friday, has claimed 185 homes in its path, a number that is expected to grow.
I just can't imagine what Medical Lake is going through with that many homes lost. There's going to be a lot of displaced people, and they're going to need a lot of help.
The governor in person Sunday at the same shelter where Lisa and her mom are staying, with the promise that more help is on the way.
What do you say to the people that say there need to be more resources on the ground? What can the federal and state government do to help contain this fire that at this point is 10% contained?
We need to fight these fires every way we can, starting with increasing our firefighting assets. We've increased our firefighting assets with fire engines, with planes, with personnel, to the tune of over $125 million just in the last year and a half.
Help may be coming, but deployment takes time. And this fire is proving a formidable opponent, covering some 9,000 acres in just 24 hours.
But we've got to understand we're up against a monster here that we've never felt before, and that's climate change. We got to attack climate change, which is causing more of these fires.
For Cox, the threat of a life-changing fire is no longer hypothetical. It's now in her backyard.
It's something that you just have to live with when you live in the forest, because you never know when a forest fire is going to happen.
The impact of the Gray Fire has been widespread, including delays caused by traffic, specifically to I-90. There are delays and closures stretching from just about the city of Spokane all the way to the town of Sprague. Near Spokane, Sebastian Robertson, KREM 2 News.
Pat Carpenter bought this pontoon boat just a few weeks ago, and it may have saved his life. He managed to get 3 neighbors and a dog to safety.
When the authorities call level 3 and say it's time to go, it's time to go.
Pat Carpenter was running out of time and options last Friday. He was 10 minutes behind his wife. She left their Silver Lake home in one of their cars right before the Gray Fire blocked roads, trapping him and several other neighbors.
Donna was coming out in her bathrobe and her slippers because the police had knocked on her door.
The fire was coming right for them.
When we knew our houses were going quickly.
Carpenter loaded up 3 neighbors and a dog into his pontoon boat, which he bought just a few weeks ago.
I had to remember where to turn the battery on.
Sadly, this is our houses. There's fire in the front yards.
Last video, fires in Vasili's backyard. As I looked straight across and saw the flames, it dawned on me that in an instant, our strip of 5-6 houses that we have down on the water were just up like that.
This is what's left of their property.
The west side of Silver Lake is predominantly leveled, but there's spots of houses that somehow make it where the others don't, but the majority are down to the foundations. And you could always wish you could bring more. So I have a new Costco wardrobe as of yesterday.
Thankfully, Carpenter and his wife have a place to stay with their daughter on the South Hill.
Lots of hugs from grandkids. Yeah, they have this sense when things are tough, and man, we're getting cuddling time. It's top notch, I'm telling you. It's pretty darn cool.
He's thankful for the first responders and his community.
We're all gonna just keep holding each other up as we do. We're just, you see the best in people through things like this.
Today, he's planning to go look at the damage along with his neighbors. It's going to be tough.
Yeah, it will. It will. and that's why we're going to do it together. We're on that other end of watching people who are sitting in this chair, and so you understand. I've always thought, you know, just I'd be so happy for people being alive. The rest of it isn't going to matter. It matters, but you know, we're gonna redo it. There's this is a speed bump in the road of life, and people certainly have worse speed bumps than this.
And the carpenters tell me they do plan to rebuild. They just want to know what resources will be brought in to help clear up the rubble. Reporting in Cheney, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Well, the Country Church of the Open Bible has transformed over the weekend. We've got people still coming up to the doors, and they're going to be open because this is not just a house of worship anymore. It is a 24/7 emergency center. When the Oregon Road fire sparked Friday, torching homes and forcing people out of Elk, there was a place many turned to.
We got kind of through there a little bit, realizing that people weren't going to be able to go home, so we said we're going to stay open 24/7.
Now Pastor Jose Ng's church has transformed into a refuge center, thanks to mostly donations. They're providing not only a shelter, but a one-stop shop for anything evacuees may have left behind or lost completely, serving people
so that everyone can come. So
every way they can.
Nobody's going to go hungry around here.
Volunteers turned the church kitchen into an assembly line, cranking out meals for the masses, headed by Sandy Coelho, and an answer to a prayer.
A little voice behind me said, "What are you good at?" In other words, you know what you're good at, go do it. And this is what I'm good at.
Nightly dinners nourish a bit of comfort for those who need it most.
We have, my husband and I personally have quite a few friends who have no home. Everything is gone. I mean, no house, no barn, their tractors. They got out with nothing. And so we're serving them. And that's the heart of it.
Because while the church has changed so much, it is still a sanctuary.
And, you know, we're going to go through them with us, and it's not just for a few days. We're open 24/7 for as long as it's going to take.
Now, the church has been posting regularly on its Facebook page about what they need in terms of donations. They actually have been overwhelmed with the amount of donations, and so they say the best thing you can do right now to help is just keep track of that Facebook page and see exactly what they need right now. In Elk, Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Hello. Yeah, the Gray Fire continues to bring devastation to the area. To date, it has killed one person, destroyed 185 homes, and as you alluded to, that is a conservative estimate, only expected to grow. And we talked to so many people outside of the fire lines forced to evacuate that can do nothing but wait and see. Eastern Washington is blanketed by smoke.
Just hoping that the trailer's still there when we get, back.
Sun blocked by haze as hundreds of fire crews work to knock down the area's largest wildfire.
Yeah, when we seen the truck and the flames, we pretty much thought we were going to lose everything.
Leanne Edgington shot this video on her phone.
Oh my God, look at the flames on that house right there.
She and her longtime partner Ryan made it out alive, outran the Gray Fire, and they thought they were in the clear.
Yeah, but not safe from the criminals in Spokane, I guess.
This morning, they woke up to broken glass. A bad situation just got worse in the parking lot of a Spokane hotel.
I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning to come down and get a charger for my phone. And as I'm walking up, I seen glass from underneath the truck. And I knew that the truck got broken into. And when we got closer, we realized everything was gone.
The good news is that their home is still standing. 185 others are not. Officials expect that number to rise. The Gray Fire sparked Friday, burned hot and fast, tearing through more than 10,000 acres. Over the weekend, Governor Inslee visited survivors, promising more help is on the way.
But we've got to understand we're up against a monster here that we've never felt before, and that's climate change.
Back on the fire line, and crews are taking advantage of slightly lower temperatures and calmer conditions to solidify fire lines. WashDOT crews clearing trees at risk of falling. To date, just 10% of the fire is contained, and the fire danger is still extreme. For Ryan and Leanne, that means they'll have to keep waiting, and oftentimes that's the hardest part. something they wish the people who broke into their truck could understand.
Did it ever cross your guys' mind that, other people other than you are going through something too?
The secret weapon in the fight against this fire may be Mother Nature. You can see that the sun has gone away. Overcast skies are here. There is a chance for rain early this evening. And while it's not expected to wet the ground, it could be a pivotal part in stopping the spread of this fire and allowing crews some valuable time to catch up. In Cheney, Sebastian Robertson, KREM 2 News.
Well, of the 5,000 people living in Medical Lake, Mayor Terry Cooper estimates about 4,000 people were able to return to their homes today. But the threat of danger isn't completely gone. The fire is still actively burning within city limits. Monday, some people in Medical Lake unloaded the same cars they packed with their essentials Friday. For most, it's been 4 days since they've last seen their homes. The return is bittersweet for John Higgins.
Felt pretty good knowing it's still standing, but you're still heartbroken for everybody else.
He says he feels for his neighbors devastated just a few streets away. Higgins is a softball coach in the school district and was previously mayor of Medical Lake. He says he knows too many in pain.
It's going to be a long road to recover.
A resident of more than 70 years, he knows while there is great loss in the community, there's also great support.
It's close-knit. People take care of each other.
With his home still standing, he says he will also be a resource for his friends and neighbors in need.
If you need something from somebody, don't hesitate to ask. People are here to help.
South of Campbell Street is still under level 3 evacuations. Spokane County Fire District 3 is urging people to not return to that area as the Gray Fire is still burning. The mayor announced that utilities are all up and running, including water and electricity. Today, people were accessing the grocery store and gas stations for the first time. She is urging people that are coming back to stay on the north side of the city as the fire continues to burn to the south. In Medical Lake, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
The three primary messages are avoid exposure, time of exposure, and the intensity of physical activity you're doing are going to be the key factors in how at risk you are for side effects of wildfire smoke.
The air quality is starting to improve throughout much of our area, but experts say when AQI levels get in the unhealthy, very unhealthy, or hazardous range, you should consider wearing a high-quality face mask whenever you go outside.
The only masks that are going to offer protection from these particulates are real N95 respirators. The surgical masks and even the KN95 masks that we're all so familiar with from the pandemic are probably not offering enough protection.
And in your home, make sure your windows are shut, doors are properly sealed, and make use of any air filters.
The EPA recommends even using a box fan and just, taping a house filter to the back of the box fan, which can provide some improved clearance of those particulates so that there's less burden you're exposed to in the home.
If you start having a scratchy throat, irritated eyes, or a cough, Dr. Arthur says that you can turn to your local drugstore.
I think many of the over-the-counter allergy products are appropriate here. The people who are going to be at most risk of a serious complication are going to be elderly patients, very young patients, pregnant patients, and those who have chronic heart or lung conditions.
In Spokane, Channing Curtis, KREM 2 News.
Fofo's Boutique is stepping up to help wildfire victims, and that means if you need any clothes or shoes, this local boutique has you covered. Whatever you need, it's free of charge.
At Fofo's Boutique, Celine LaRue,
you're gonna need this 1980s jacket,
is in the business of making her customers look and feel good.
I do love fashion, and I very much love vintage clothing, so I like to mix that in as well.
But nothing is more fashionable than helping those in need.
If you need a few things to get you by, I've got dresses, I've got shorts, I've got shirts, I've got shoes.
This is not an ad to bring in more paying customers. It's just the opposite.
I want to get you clothing to get you through the next couple of days at no charge.
Celine hopes her social media videos reach families who evacuated their homes because of the wildfires. She wants their business, but won't take their money.
I want them to come into my store and find what they need that will get them through the next couple of days.
On the first day, 11 families picked out clothes. The next day, it was 23.
It's heartbreaking, and there have been many people coming in just really distraught. So I want to help in any way that I can.
She's taking donations and now has several bags to sort through.
We have a lot of clothing we're going through.
But Celine is happy to do the work.
I've been through it.
Because she's lived through crisis herself.
We lost our house, and it took several weeks for us to really even come into our own head, and we had friends and family help as well, but you really are walking around numb. So we'll need to try that for you.
So when it comes to looking and feeling good, you can believe Celine's got you covered.
Now you can find Fofo's Boutique on Northwest Boulevard, just down the street from Audubon Park. Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Well, right now I am in Deer Park at one of the base camps, just, a few miles away from where that fire started in Elk. But I did get the chance to go beyond the barriers with that family who lost everything in the first hours of the Oregon Road fire. It's still unbelievable for Christopher Hunt to come back to the home he shared with his grandfather for decades.
And then the flames come down the field here and surrounded the place and kind of just took over.
Now, ash. Hunt's grandfather bought the land in the 60s and started building a life here. His extended family would soon share.
All my childhood memories, everything is out there. Not just my grandpa and my dad lived there, but my aunt and uncle and my other aunt and uncle.
3 generations worth of memories and work gone.
I don't know that I have words just to see everything gone. All of my family's life. My grandpa built his house, he built the sawmill, he built the planer, he built tractors. All of what he has worked hard for his whole life is gone.
Christopher was able to save his grandpa, pulling him from the home as flames closed in. Just up the hill, other Hunt family members had minutes to evacuate too.
All you could hear, it sounded like a jet engine. The roar was coming at you. You could hear it, but you couldn't quite see it.
Leanna Hunt and her husband are sorting through what's left, though there isn't much.
We had 2 sons that had muscular dystrophy, and they both passed away. And everything they ever made or ever got me for Mother's Day, Father's Day, it's all gone. And you just can't replace that kind of stuff.
And it's just devastating. I'm still kind of in shock about it.
Though the family's spread out in temporary housing, they're together still and waiting to come back home.
It feels like a nightmare. There's no way in this world that all of that could be gone. There's just no way.
The family does have a couple of fundraisers going on to help begin that rebuilding process. We do have a list of verified GoFundMe accounts on our website for both fires, Oregon Road and the Gray Fire. You can find that right now at KREM.com. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
It is a good day that we get to allow more residents back into their homes.
Cars started trickling into town this evening, 4 days after the Gray Fire ripped through parts of Medical Lake, destroying 259 structures. Some areas are still smoldering.
This is a time to go into the area if you have to. Check on the status of your residents. Make sure that you get things taken care of. But again, be ready to leave. Things can change.
We were at the corner of Stanley and Evergreen Friday night. This is what it looks like today. Some homes are gone, some are just fine, and others are somewhere in between.
We really appreciate the community being patient as we worked around the clock to make this happen. It's our community too. We have firefighters with properties inside that perimeter as well. We have firefighters who've lost their homes as well.
The cleanup has barely even started. There's still power lines to repair and debris to clear. Spokane County leaders say they have already started to look on the recovery side.
I just want to say my heart goes out to all of you.
Commissioner Mary Cooney says state and federal partners are coming to the table. The county has declared a state of emergency.
Today we were just talking about how do we have help with property tax relief for those people that their property values now have been diminished. And so we're looking at that. We're looking at what is the assistance that we can provide the Red Cross as people are trying to get out of the shelter and need to figure out how to get into some permanent housing.
In Medical Lake, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
A few yards can be the difference between ash and a home untouched.
It's crazy, yeah.
I'm realizing how close we came to losing everything too.
The Knight family is still trying to process what they've seen this week. Larry, Allison, Ethan, and Lily have lived in their Medical Lake home for years.
The clothes on our back, our animals, and our valuables.
If we didn't evacuate when we did, honestly, don't know.
Out with what we could.
I don't know what would have happened.
When the Gray Fire forced them to leave their community, all they could do was hope for the best, and upon their return, they found their property virtually untouched.
No, those aren't the neighbors.
Yeah.
Oh, there's Bob.
Just yards away.
Hey, Bob.
It's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Man, oh man. I love that car.
Their longtime neighbor Bob Reese lost everything.
Yeah.
I got my truck.
Yeah.
That's good.
And I got a new sweats. That's all I have.
And now he's just making sense of the damage left behind.
Here's the, looks like here's the Toyota symbol.
Yeah.
Now, in the midst of a natural disaster, he somehow managed to keep a smile on his face.
Yeah, it's great to have support.
Sometimes it helps to laugh to keep from crying.
You'll get a new trash bin.
Yeah, I canceled that.
Bob's not sure what the future will hold.
Oh well.
But he knows his neighbors will be right behind him, lending their support.
We'll just start over and take it day by day.
From Medical Lake, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
Yeah, that photo has been making the rounds across social media, oftentimes with the caption that the man in it and his family lost everything. Well, I am happy to tell you that's not completely true, and it's thanks to the guy in that photo. Photos and videos. It was one of the only things Adela Dibble could do when the Oregon Road fire broke out near her home.
We should have stayed home and waited for the concert.
Her and husband Art were celebrating an anniversary when they got the call Friday night. First, there was smoke.
And then he called back 5 minutes later and just said, I see flames already. Like, get home.
But the fire had already taken over the road a mile from home, the home where Art Dibble Sr. still was, calling to tell them he was packing up the couple's dogs and getting out.
I hear it playing, yeah.
The Dibbles were really able to see the damage the next day. The workshop and apartment where Art Sr. lived.
And that all burnt, everything, yeah.
But the Dibbles' home, 200 feet away, still there.
Yeah, well, it actually burned all around our house, too. In the corner of the house where he was watering, he watered for probably like a half hour before he had to leave. It got all the way up to probably 5 feet to the edge of our garage, all the way around, and just didn't burn no more.
Thanks to Art Sr. And of course, it wasn't the only thing to survive. In a pile of ash and rubble, Adela found something else.
I had to pick it up and I was like, your flag made it, like pop-ups, it made it.
The photo she took has been shared across social media.
I just thought like it was a symbol of hope.
Pop Pop and his flag. A reminder the most important things are still standing.
I'm just thankful like that, you know, I was able to take that picture because we were worried he wasn't going to make it out.
Yeah, now he's living in the big house.
Until they can rebuild Pop Pop's palace next door.
Yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
And the Dibbles did have insurance on both the burned buildings, so Pop Pop will get his space back and he'll have a new American flag to put up. A stranger saw that picture and the post and donated a brand new American flag to him, so that's going to go up as soon as those new buildings do. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
When Roshana Anderson woke up last Friday, she never thought her life would be turned upside down. I'm standing where the front door used to be, and now the house is reduced to nothing but its foundation.
So right here would have been the guest room.
It was just supposed to be a normal day.
And then My kiddos' room and then our bedroom would have been in the back.
But last Friday, when Roshana Anderson saw smoke in the air, she evacuated with just the clothes on her back.
We had about 30 minutes from the time we got the notice to get out.
Ultimately, her home was destroyed by the fire.
We worked so hard for all this, and we wanted this place to be a refuge for other people if they went through hardship.
But even amidst the devastation,
it's really a miracle that they made it.
A silver lining.
And their paws being burned, they had to be running through the ash.
When Roshana evacuated, she couldn't find her cats and had to leave them behind.
Our shipping container is completely shot. It blew up.
But when she returned,
I hear a meow, and my heart was just full that a cat survived.
Not just one, but both of her cats survived the fire.
Both of them have their paws burned and their whiskers and their hairs singed, but they're both alive by some miracle.
Local nonprofit Spokane Animals says pets need to be checked out after the destructive wildfires.
Animals definitely need to be seen. I would say if you've gone to your vet prior, if you have a vet relationship, call them, ask them for help.
Roshana and her family are now picking up the pieces.
We're alive, we made it. We have an incredible village that's supporting us.
It will be a long journey.
They'll be okay.
But Roshana will rebuild with her cats right by her side. This is Hershey, one of the cats Roshana found once she returned home. And even though Hershey still needs to go to the vet, Roshana says she'll forever be grateful. In Elk, Nathan Hyun, KREM 2 News.
Well, post office clerks in Elk and here in Chattaroy are working even harder to help those displaced residents get their mail, which is necessary, sometimes even life-saving. It's neither rain nor sleet here at Elk's post office, but another force of nature taking a toll on the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
We are working hard to get mail delivery restored.
The Oregon Road fire has meant hundreds of homes can't get mail, but Kim Frum with the U.S. Postal Service says things are improving. Just a couple days ago, around 1,300 customers between Elk and Chattaroy couldn't get mail delivery.
We are down to 492, so total between Elk and Chattaroy.
Beyond bills and letters, those delayed deliveries are often necessities.
I actually heard of an elderly couple that her husband has cancer and he needed his medication and he was unable to get it.
Frum says most of the issues involve routes that are still blocked or barricaded due to continuing level 3 evacuations, keeping carriers out of some neighborhoods.
We can only do that when it is safe to do so. The majority of the affected mail delivery is simply because roads are not passable.
Right now, if your mail isn't deliverable, the post office is holding it in Elk and Chattaroy. You can pick it up at the post office, or you can also ask them to forward it to another address, either by stopping by the post office or going to USPS.com.
We are holding their mail. The mail is secure. It is safe.
And until carriers can get back on the roads, some helpers are lending a hand. Serena Gleason Foster has been picking up deliveries for some people who otherwise would have to wait.
And trying to do our best to be able to get out there.
And of course, mail delivery has also been severely impacted in the Medical Lake area with the Gray Fire. USPS tells me that more than 240 customers there still can't get their mail, and about 200 customers had homes or businesses burned. So if that is your situation, again, they are holding your mail at the Medical Lake post office there. You can also go in or go online to have them hold that mail or forward it to a different address. In Chattaroy, Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Thank you for joining us here on KREM 2 Plus for a look at some of the biggest news stories of the past week. For the most current news throughout the weekend, you can watch our latest newscast right here on KREM 2 Plus. Just look for them in the bottom navigation menu. I'm Tim Pham. Thanks for watching.